Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm continuing with my all Tim Holtz journal, and these are the dies that I used, and for once they're all current, including the steel rule die, which never happens. And I cut each set of dies from mixed media paper twice. Now this wildflower set that does not have the word stems in it, I want you guys to look at. Do you see all those tiny holes? This is a die that likes to hold on to the die cuts. So keep that in mind if you're shopping. Next I'm going to color the die cuts, and I'm using direct to paper with a little bit of water spray here. And you could dip and dry. This is just doing it from the other side with a little bit more control. And after I did the direct to paper and move that ink around with a little bit of water, I am going to fill in any empty spots with a little bit of Distress Oxide re-inker. So just with a paintbrush. So that just lets me fill in any place where the ink pad skipped over, and it gives me some color variation on these leaves. So once I did this for the leaves, I went on to the flowers and just continued until I had colored all of the die cuts. Set those aside to dry. Once those were finished, we'll take a look at the pile of die cuts. Quite a few of them here. I cut everything twice. And I'm going to save the mixed media paper I was working on for an actual junk journal. And then I'm going to take that leftover Distress Oxide in a little piece of plastic wrap, and I'm just going to layer up my background page with the Distress Oxide to give me a little bit of a grassy background at the bottom. And then I'm actually going to get out some fresh blue Distress Oxide re-inker to make a little bit of a sky background. Once I've got the backgrounds ready, and I've set those aside to dry as well, because everything needs to be completely dry before you go into glue, I'm going to take out my pile of die cuts and arrange them until I get a complete field of wildflowers on both sides. And just fiddle around with these until I'm, fairly happy with how they are, and make sure that I've filled up all the space and really have a profusion of flowers. Seems like a long time since I've seen a spring field of wildflowers at this point in the year. It's been a really long, hot summer, but it really makes me happy to see all those flowers in one place. And once I've got these arranged to my satisfaction, I'm going to use the Glad Press and Seal to pick these up and glue them on. So there's really no substitute. It does have to be Glad Press and Seal if you want to use this approach. So you apply that from the top, and it will pick up all of the die cuts in one fell swoop and keep them arranged exactly as you have them, so that you can apply glue to the back and then glue them down to the page. So it does take a little bit of patience, because you've got to glue all those little bits of paper, and then you've got to peel them up a little bit from the top to make sure that you've got absolutely everything in place. So once you work off the Glad Press and Seal, you kind of have to feel around and see what's still wiggling, and put a little bit more glue on the back to make sure that everything stays. And usually I let that dry for a second, and then I'll actually pick it up and shake the page to see what wiggles. So once everything's glued, I only have those 3 little pieces left. I'll set those aside for later, and then I'm going to decide which order I'm going to put these pages in. I actually left the outer edges rough and kept the overhang on some sides, and then I put on some stickers from Small Talk. I really like that sticker set. All the products are linked below if you have any interest, and these are my finished pages. Thank you for joining me today.